Today we moved from Big Major up to, where are we going?
Shroud.
Shroud, which is this island up here with the mega yachts. Kind of a different day today. Not only do I get to hand pull the anchor because our windlass is not working. Yesterday autopilot went out as well, so I have been hand steering and following seas. Ones and twos, occasional 3 foot. Biggest thing is we just slow down. We find that works the best for keeping the pitching and rolling to a minimum. A little more mentally draining to have to hand steer versus autopilot really is cheating. We're pretty spoiled, so that's definitely on the top of the list along with the windlass to get that fixed. Looks like a gorgeous anchorage though. Lots of super yachts up here. We've never been here before. Looking forward to checking it out.
Like Chris said, we don't like following seas, and the reason is it like picks our boat up and we like surf it down sideways and then we go this way, you know. So it's not just a rocking motion, but it's also like a pitching motion. So we're getting more comfortable with the rocking, just a gentle like mom rock. But when it starts like pitching over and your stomach kind of clenches up like on an amusement park ride, that we don't like at all. I'm sorry, that I don't like at all. So even though it's not super deep, in those conditions we always have the boys wear all their life jackets. They just always have to be safe. And then another random fact about the Bahamas is sunglasses. This is my 4th pair of sunglasses because the screw and the little hinge in here, they keep rusting out because they're not stainless steel. So they're cheap. I'm getting cheap sunglasses. But so these are not my favorite style, but you need sunglasses, and I wish I would have brought way more pairs than I had. I think I ended up buying 3 pairs, and all are broken now at this point. So this is just like a backup leftover. So something I wish I would have had a lot more of. We have anchored out here at Shroud Cay. The boys are playing some fun games. It's very shallow here. I don't know if you can see the bottom. It's only like 5-6 feet deep. It's very shallow. There's a little bit of swell, so we're rocking a little bit. And Chris is making dinner. What are you making?
Hamburgers. Gotta use the buns before they go bad.
And don't forget we have Chick-fil-A sauce.
Couldn't find it.
Did it get used?
Polynesian sauce and ketchup.
Okay, I'm searching. What's this? Chick-fil-A sauce. Man look.
What'd you say?
You did a man look.
What's a man look?
When you were a man and it didn't jump on you, so you didn't find it. I literally opened the fridge and it's right there. Did you finish?
This is Caleb's.
He didn't finish.
Mine is still up there. Whoa!
Oh, I'm sorry. What happened to your foot?
Hit by a dinghy.
Hit by a dinghy. Doing what?
Inner tubing.
Yeah, are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing that bothers me is the swelling. Here's my other foot compared to that foot. Empty, and then Mom put more stuff on it.
After dinner games, Mexican train.
I had 112 and it only connected to one thing.
Well, I wish mine connected
Two
to one
things.
thing.
What is that, Chase?
Homemade garlic bread.
How?
We just get a
Hamburger bun?
hamburger bun,
Oh, no,
toast it
I
with
got
a toast it with a pan, and then put butter and garlic bread on it.
Garlic powder.
Garlic powder.
And then what do you have?
No cheating.
Okay, no cheating. What do I have?
Never open.
We started at double 12. Now what do we do next?
Double 11.
We count score, however many points we have. Like I have 32. And then it's the lowest score at the end of 12 rounds wins.
I have...
We go double 12, and then double
6,
11, and double 10.
16?
11. I'll search for it. 14. I already closed mine. And I'm adding 12. 11, which will be Caleb against 24. Again?
Good morning. We're getting all ready to go to the mangroves. Dinghy around. Got a paddleboard. Got a cooler full of snacks and junk.
Yep.
Ready, Caleb?
Last week, we explored the southern keys of the Exuma Land and Sea Park. Shroud is the most northern island or key in the park. It's known for the mangrove creeks that run all throughout the island. Into the creek we go.
What happened, Carter?
And I got a doggy park.
Can it attach still? Oh no. So once you get to the end of the stream here in the mangroves, then you're supposed to turn off your engines and just float and paddle back. The current goes to the bankside no matter if it's high tide or low tide.
I think so, because I think when it's rising, rushing over, and when it's falling, I think it's the same direction.
Still rushing out. So it's always going towards the boats, away from the ocean. Are you just gonna pull? Or paddle? So much for floating.
We're just going to get out of the shallow.
In the shallows, the current's not really going fast.
From here. I think it's just falling off the banks. We're here at Norman's Key, which is, I think it's a private island, but it's being developed. It's always been being developed. You can buy a plot of land and build a house. We've got a marina right over here, which has been on and off, in operation, out of business several times over the last several years. There was a resort here. Its heyday for this island was back in the 80s, and it was a big drug running island. I think the Colombians owned it for a while. There's a plane wreck up over here. We're going to see if we can find. A guy was flying it down here to see if the drug runners wanted to buy it, and they said no. Well, the pilot had an affinity for rum punch, so he had a few too many rum punches and decided it was time to do practice touch and goes. And he was going to miss the island. I don't know if he had a mechanical issue or just the drinky, but he landed it over here, and it's more or less intact. I think it's rusted, the top part, so it's like open. So we're going to see if we can find it and take a look at that. But it's a big snorkel spot here. Just gorgeous. Water's gorgeous today, nice and calm. Little like private little island over there where it's basically just a sandbar with a couple of palm trees.
It's not private.
It's not private, public.
I think so.
We're going to tour around and see what we can find.
After exploring the plain, which we did not snorkel, we dinghied over to the next island north, Little Normans, also known as Saddleback. We explored an abandoned bar.
Mom,
Yeah?
I wonder if the chains are decoration or...
Oh, it's a boat.
Oh, look. Look at that. It's hard.
Oh, yeah.
What does it look like?
Wow, this was the bar. The most exclusive bar in the Bahamas right now is this place. We're at Little Norman's Cay is what it's called, and we found this old abandoned bar. It doesn't even look like a resort. It's literally just a bar, and it has the most amazing views. We actually saw some other people here, so we came ashore, met them. They were on a charter boat, super great people, and this place is just so cool. Like back in the heyday, I bet this was the coolest hangout. Well, it's a good place for Chase to break his flip-flops. He's just going to leave them up there.
You may have noticed in some of the clips, maybe this week or last week, probably next week, Caleb's got either a bag or a bandage over his foot. We weren't going to get into it too much, but we had an accident. This has been a week ago now. If you're seeing this video, it's probably like a month ago. We were down by Pig Major, and I was inner tubing with the boys behind the dinghy. And you know, when you're inner tubing, you speed up, slow down, turn, hit bumps, that kind of stuff. Caleb was my spotter. He was sitting on the front of the boat. It was so quick, I couldn't even really tell you exactly what happened. But
I fell backwards. Then I tried my best to push off the boat, but the propeller hit my foot.
yeah, basically I ran him over, and so many things could have happened worse. He fell backwards over to the front, kind of the front starboard, and as it was falling, he said he kicked off and cleared. All the boys had their life jackets on, because we always do whenever we're tubing, even in the dinghy. But he went over, and I hit him his foot. I didn't even know he was in the water until I felt the bump, like you hit a log or a piece of debris. And I looked back, and a second later, his head pops up, and he's screaming at me.
I said my foot.
That's right. He said, my foot, my foot. And probably the scariest moment of my life right there. Worse than any passage, because, you know, we've seen horror stories of people getting hit, and, you know, in the face or the back or the torso, and just major, major wounds. So fast. I could not believe how fast it happened. 1 second, everything was great. 2 seconds later, he's behind the boat. So we put a call out to the clinic because we were there by Staniel Cay. Unfortunately, the nurse had already gone home. We reached out to Black Point Clinic. They were closed. In the Bahamas, you reach out to your cruising community. So we held on channel 16 for anyone that maybe had a doctor on board that knew how to put some stitches in. It needed stitches. And he ended up getting 11 stitches. There's 2 cuts, one on the top of the foot, one on the bottom of the foot.
6 on top, 5 on top.
Yeah, and it was pretty gnarly. The gentleman was in Compass Key, and he heard the call. He was actually out fishing, so he was halfway between us, and he heard us, and he said, "Go to Compass. I just need to check and see if I have a suture kit." And we said, "Okay, we'll head that way." Some other boaters heard that he wasn't sure if he had a suture kit on board since he wasn't at his boat. And they offered a suture kit, so we stopped and picked that up. And we got in a big boat. It was a 45-minute run up to Compass. Got there, pulled right up to dock, tied off. One of the crew members was waiting, put him on his back, carried him right over to their big boat. And this gentleman is amazing. He, like I said, owner of the boat, was there on vacation. When we got there, had his full medical kit out. Just great experience. Even included ice cream for the kids. You know, when you go to the doctor and you get a sucker afterwards, Well, these kids got ice cream, which they hadn't had in like 6 months, so it was pretty good. But wonderful family on board, wonderful crew. They did a great job. They're still following up with pictures via text, making sure it looks good, and letting us know if we need to go anywhere to get it checked on. But thus far, it's just keeping it protected, keeping Neosporin on it, and it's healing up great. I just can't reiterate how much, you know, when you're playing around like that, life jackets. We talked to the boys about how dangerous it is to fall overboard when the boat's running, and what you do. Go to the side, try and get yourself clear. And he instinctively did all that. And just got nailed. But super grateful that it wasn't worse.
Look, what? I'm just going to the ocean floor. Now we're up because of my foot, I wasn't able to get in the sand or in the water, but now Dad duct taped this bag around my foot so I can get in the sand. I still can't get in the water because it's not waterproof. But I really miss getting in the water.
Yeah. What have you done this last week?
Sit on the couch. That's pretty much it.
Like Chris said, accidents happen. Just make sure that you always talk to your kids about safety, what to do in an emergency. We are incredibly grateful that things turned out well for us. We know that's not always the case.